Good morning, guys. I hope you guys have lightning or components. Okay. Today we'll see lightning web components, how to create lightning web components, and what are the syntaxes, how can we create the attributes we have, and what are the different component library components are available. Okay. So see, first we cannot create lightning web components using so you cannot create lightning web components using the developer console. This is very important point. For that you need to do some kind of setup to create the lightning web components and push the So I'll go through this link and I'll explain you how to set up. So these are the two links I have given to you guys through the WhatsApp group. You have to set up Visual Studio Code. Okay. So if you go through this Visual Studio Code, you will be having the link for downloading the Visual Studio Code. Download that. This is Windows 7. Studio Code from this link, and then download the Salesforce DXCLI, install that as well, set up the path, then install extension pack. Okay. So once that is done, I'll let you know how to do the operation. So, and this may ask for the kind of Java also. Java 11 version, you have to install that as well. After that, when you open the Visual Studio Code, so this is the Visual Studio Code. Okay, it will open like this. Okay, so you need to create one project. Okay, here the steps are setup. Yes, code. Download this code, install it, download SF Salesforce DX, Salesforce CLI, and install. Third one, download Java 11 or Java 11 and install it. Fourth one, install Salesforce extension pack. VS Code. Okay. So step 1, 2, 3, they're just like downloading the softwares and installing on your machine. Next, fourth step is just open the VS Code. Then just observe this. There is extensions. Okay, if you see this is the Explorer. and this is a search function, and this is just repository source control. So this is for run and debug, and this is for extensions. Okay, and here testing or browser or difference. Just go to the first thing is extensions. Okay, in extensions there will be one thing called Salesforce extension pack. Salesforce extension pack. So you need to install. This is already installed here, so that's why it is showing the uninstall. Okay, so you can install. So when you install that, then a lot of other commands you can see here. Okay, that is one thing, and then you can have number of extension packs like extension of Java or something. Those are much not required because extension pack will have lot of things like Apex, Apex Interactive Debugger, Apex Debugger SL integration also will be installed here. Or components you can create. Visual Force also you can create. LWC also you can do here. Okay. SOQL queries also you can query here. Okay, you can use this. So this is how you have to uh, install the Salesforce extension pack. Okay. 9 versions. Another version. Current version is already there. Expanded is there. If you want, you can install this also. It will give the Apex PMD also. That would be very useful. I have disabled this because it used to say each and every time some kind of address and this. Okay, it's disabled. Sorry, enabled it is. Okay, so after you install the all these softwares and Salesforce extension pack, extension pack expanded, this, then how to do this? It all will be installed already. Okay. Next thing is this is called command prompt. Okay. Salesforce command prompt. Right. Use Shift Control P. Okay. When you click on Shift Control P, so all available uh, tags and then commands will be available here. So first, to connect with the Salesforce, so let's say if you want to access the Salesforce application, whatever you have, first you need to do, you have to create one application here. First thing, let's create one application. Okay. So here, create project with manifesto. Okay, create project with manifesto. You can say that. So this is the command what you need to do. So this is I'm giving standard. Okay, I'm giving LWC. Okay, so it will ask for which application you are going to do this one. Okay, let me give one app name. So you can create one folder here and use this. Okay, LWC. Simple. I'm giving the name. Just create this project. So inside this project, this will be created. Okay. Now the project has been created with the name LWC. So using this LWC, you have to understand what can be here. See applications Aura components, classes, content assets, flexi pages, layouts, LWC components, objects, permanent set, static resources, tabs, triggers, manifest, scripts, everything you can get here. Okay, config, you can see project, where it is. Inside the main phase, you have one thing called Apex class. Sorry, package.xml. I have already explained you guys whatever you need to fetch from our application to local, then you need to use package.xml. Okay, this is very much important. Okay, this package.xml is very much important. Now you have created one empty project here, but you are not connected to the application till now. What we have to do is Shift Control B, SFDX, authorize organization. Authorize and organize. First, you have created a project in your local organization or local VS Code. Then you need to connect your application to your uh, Salesforce organization. Here it is login.salesforce.com. This is project default. It means production or developer organizations. If it is sandbox, you have to use test.salesforce.com. So as it is default, giving like this LWC is the name, simple name you are giving, then give this one. Then simply it will come here. Okay. So what you need to do is give edit list, right, login with different name and give this username and password. This is the username. This one as well. Login. So once this is successfully logged in, then you can see here, this is authorize an org successfully ran. Okay, now your application has been run and it is connected to your VS Code to here. See here, till now in the Force app, you do not have any components here, classes or something, contents, nothing of it, right? So go here. Go to that package.xml wherever it is, click, right click on that, then retrieve source in manifest from arc. Retrieve source means whatever the components you have mentioned here, like Apex class, Apex component, Apex page, Apex statute, triggers, or definition bundle, Lightning Web component bundle, Lightning component bundle, static resource, or even if you give like if you want to export the profiles also, you can modify this package.xml profile. Okay, whatever you need, even like permanent sets, profiles, permanent sets. You can mention like this. Star means all permanent sets. If you mention name is profile and members has star, then all profiles in the organization should be retrieved. Static resource, lightning component bundle, all LWC it should become aura bundle. All lightning components should be retrieved. This is what the package.xml will do. This will be having three tags: types, members, name, types, and entity tag. For each and every tag, there will be one entity tag. Okay, members. Let's say I need only one Apex class. Let's say that is test class or something. Apex class one. You can give like this. Then only one class can be retrieved from the organization instead of all. If we give the star, then all classes will be retrieved by using this one. Now let's go and run this one. Right click on this one. And the source, retrieve source in manifest from option. It shows the results here, what it is going. First thing, you have to create a project. Second one, authorize an arc. Third one, retrieve the source. See, these are all the components retrieved from the our application or Salesforce organization. Okay, to check that, you just click on force M and try to see ARA components. These are the ARA components we have created. So we have already seen this, right? Test application we have created, record edit form, CMD event, a lot of things we created. Okay, so applications we have not added here. Then click see pages, not created anything. See layouts, so we have not given this LWC components. We have created these also LWC. Last time I created them for practice. Objects, oh, we have not given any object here, right? So to retrieve all objects, what we can do is just give permit set custom. Just retrieve like this. Right click, retrieve source in from manifest mark. See, custom objects. Okay. Customer underscore C department. Here you can see all fields also like this. Okay, so you can have fields separately, then list views separately, then record types will be in the separate order, something like this. Okay, validation rules will be in the separate, everything, each and every object. Okay, now as you mentioned, profiles are also retrieved: admin profile, system admin profile. Okay, so what are the profiles we have in Salesforce? All profiles have been retrieved here. Okay, so now we'll see how to retrieve. We have seen that how to download and install the Visual Studio Code, and how to create a project, then how to connect with the Salesforce and retrieving the components. Okay, so as you have the recording, you have to note down all the things, then need to practice. So first, connect by Salesforce. Step 1, create a project using SFDX for a project with manifest. So here, if you have, first thing is just remember the shortcut Shift Control P. Shift Control P. Then create project with manifest. Okay. So then authorize org. One second step. Authorize org. Okay. So SFDX dot authorize and SFDX column. Then it will be opening in the Chrome browser or wherever it is, whatever it is for a default browser, there it will open, and then you have to give your credentials there. After that, you will be connected. Then go to that manifest folder. Inside the manifest folder, have the package.xml. So fill the package.xml, third one. Right? Package.xml. Test folder adding to what so right click on the package.xml source, retrieve source in manifest from arc. So here also there will be a command retrieve source in manifest from command from org. This is also you can do this. Okay, in the shift to control P, then you will have you have create source in manifest from org. Okay, retrieve source resource in manifest from org. Okay, now you are done with the setup. First, you have to download Visual Studio Code. Second, CLI, Java 11, you have to install and set up the path. Then, Salesforce external pack you have to install. Then, you have to connect with the your automation. Authorize first, create a project. Second, authorize the org. Third one, update the package and retrieve the components. You are done with the components retrieval. Okay. After that, you can create any components. Let's say if you want to create some Aura components or Apex class, whatever you want to create, you can create here itself. See, for example, under the force app main default. This is the exact folder where you will be having all these things. Okay. So let's say if you want to create one Apex class, click on the classes, create Apex class. You can create Apex class. So for now, as we need to understand the LWC, I'm going to create one LWC component. I have already these many components, but let's write one new Lightning Web component. Okay, this is Lightning Web components. So I'm giving this component name. Hello, hello, LWC. Okay, hello, LWC, CMP. Okay, so this should be under force app main table. Okay, so I have created only one simple lightning web component. So in the Aura components, you have seen some files like CMP file will be there. That's called component markup. Then you can see this JavaScript file. Okay. So this is the component. Let's take this one. First thing, component markup will be there. Controller class, JavaScript class will be there. So the JavaScript file, not a class, JavaScript file will be there. Helper file will be there. Style for CSS. So documentation, renderer, design, SVG. So these many files will be there. But in the LWC, you will not have those many things. What you will be having in LWC, you will be having one HTML file and then one JavaScript file, one JavaScript metadata file. Only these three are required. So other than that, we don't need. Even in the Lightning Aura components also, we need component controller. Even helper also not required. And even style also not required, right? So remaining over just like ad hoc means if you want to use, you can add them, you can use them, else you can ignore it also. Okay, so that's why in LWC they have given like this. But if you want to create some CSS also, You can create new CSS file like new hello hello LWC CMP dot CSS. You can create like this. If you want, you can create like this. So there is no restriction from creating this one. Okay. So now let's try with this one. First, lightning or a lightning web component. This will always start with template tag and end with this template tag itself. Okay, always starts with template tag and ends with template tag always. Okay, as if you observe the RA components, it starts with RA component or RA application and ends with RA component or RA application. Right. The same way, this will LWC will always using template tag. Okay, first let me give very simple example. I'm giving to you. This is my first LWC component. Okay. So why we are using Visual Studio Code? We cannot create Lightning Web Component using Developer Console. Till now, you guys have seen that we have created the Lightning components and Apex classes all here. But here, we don't have Lightning Web Components. You can understand, you can see that. Okay, Lightning Web Component you cannot create from the Visual Studio, sorry, Developer Console. That's why you have to use this one. Okay. Next, so usually you have seen that whenever you want to expose this lightning component as a tab or available for record pages and some other things, then what you need to implement has record ID or available for record home or app hostable, something, some interfaces you need to next, right? So there you are saying that interfaces inside the web component, you have hello CMP. See whatever it is, meta XML, right? Metadata XML. So here there are some kind of tags here. First thing is exposed. This you need to make it true. Okay, this means when you make it as is exposed true, then it determines that this lightning web component will be used using the app builder. You have seen how to drag and drop app builders. I'll explain that also. Okay, so once that is done, you need to define targets. Inside the targets, target targets. Target. So which target? Is it a tab or it is a home page or it's a record page, iterative graph, flow screen, what it will be. Okay. But now let's create tab and you can use some other also. Lightning tab. Okay. So home page or record page, whatever you want, you can do it. Okay. This is the just using this one. Okay, once you define the targets, you have to push this component to your organization. Okay, deploy source to org. Deploy source to org. Even if you create any Apex class or whatever it is, what you can do is you can right click and deploy to source. Okay, so for example, you have updated some class here, abstract chain, let's say test 1, 2, 3. Okay, once you make the chain, simply deploy this source to arc. If you have any problems, it will show this. Okay, here it is saying some error. Let me check. See, see, hello, deploy source to. Oh, hope it's already deployed. Stored failed. The lightning component reasons hello. So in CSS file, whatever you have created, you should have some content, then it will be deployed, else it won't deploy. Now this component is deployed to our organization successfully. So then you can create a tab for that. Go to the tabs. Lightning components tab, create. So as you mentioned, hello LWC, right? You see, label is just giving a simple name. Hello. Save it. Application, example, sales application. So here, add the tabs. Some tabs here. Hello tab. So as this is exposed as Lightning tab, then we'll be able to access this tab here. Okay, so it is just displaying. This is my first LWC component. If you want to add some SLDS on this, give SLDS. Deploy this source to Bark. names. You want to give some text colors like this is also possible. Fine. Let's refresh. Still it is displaying in the same way. Let's take a theme. It's okay. So let's
Tagging same level. Tivolo tag.
save tag is missed.
Tivolo tag.
Okay. So this is how you have to use the LWC and LES. Okay. So now this is very simple component. What you are going to do on this one. Okay. Then how can you declare an attribute? Okay. Inside this Lightning Web Component, you will be having one HTML file, one JavaScript file, another JavaScript meta.xml. If you want to add some other files like CSS or Java, you can include that as well. Okay, then you have to import that. That I'll explain later. Now, let's say I need to add one small attribute, or let's say I don't want it. Okay. This is okay. So here now you can go to the lightning input type person to fill something. Okay. See, you will be having very simple examples. Like usually when you want to use any component or any tag inside the array components, what you will be giving lightning colon input field, right? Lightning colon input field or lightning colon input tag. But inside the lightning web component, the syntax will be changed to lightning hyphen. When that's why I'm opening this US lightning web component. Here you will be seeing all these web components. For example, you want to add a button using lightning specification. You can see lightning button. Okay, so this is how you will be using this one. Okay, so for me, for now, let's take one small input, lightning input. Very some simple example. What I'm going to do, lightning input, going to add two numbers, just performing two adding of two numbers, addition of two numbers we are going to do. Okay, usually if you want to do that inside the Aura components, what you are doing, you are creating three attributes, right? Okay. So you were displaying or your attribute, you are adding three numbers, right? Number one, number two, and then result four. Same component we are going to do it. So initially, what you need to do, you have to declare three attributes per one. Okay. Attributes usually inside the Aura components, we will be using Aura colon, attribute, name, and everything. But inside the Lightning Web components, this is very easy. Inside the JavaScript, okay, you can just use, say, import Lightning element. This is the first syntax that will be there. I'll explain that how it can be used later. Okay. First, what are the things? First, we need num1, num2, then result. No syntax. Just use num1, num2, num3. That's it. Okay. So, and as the value has to be passed or tracked, let's see, I'll explain that later. Okay. Now, I'm going to create one. Okay. Light input. Okay. Type equals to number. Simple. Okay. Type equals to number. Value equals to, here very important point, when you give value, then don't give double quotes. In our components we will be giving the double quotes, but inside this you don't need this. Num1. Okay. Label equals to first enter num1. Okay, so this is one input field I have given. I'm giving POR. And if you don't give also, it will come up. Next one, lightning put type equals to value equals to label equals to, okay, done with two things. Then come here, your, okay, lightning okay, lightning button. Okay, for the lightning button you need label is just like uh, addition add. Okay, this is the button you have added. Simple, very simple. You are giving two things here, then giving here.